Okay guys, we're back in the shop. We are going to get the Nova up on the lift and start trying to figure out, I've got a lean issue. I think I mentioned that before. Trying to see if I can relocate this fuel pump, maybe get it in a better spot. Because I think maybe it's stuck in the air once the car heats up and the fuel heats up. So we're underneath the Nova here, and I put this fuel injection stuff here, or the pump and the filter on here for the EFI setup. But I think, I don't know if you can really see this, I think since I'm not below the tank, it's actually causing issues, not working too hard basically to pull the fuel. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I think I'm gonna have to relocate. I'm gonna leave the filter here, but I think I'm gonna undo the pump and move the pump down here somewhere so it's a little bit below the level of the tank, and hopefully gravity feed that pump a little bit, and it'll make it a little easier on pulling fuel up to the EFI unit. So I'm gonna get all this loosened up and start getting this moved down to the bottom of this frame rail here. Alright guys, we are gonna get this pump out of here and then get it relocated. So it shouldn't have any power going to it without the key on, since it's relayed. But obviously, I'm gonna try and be as careful as possible so you don't, catch nothing on fire, especially when messing with the fuel system. So I'm going to slowly pull this off and put a little tape over this before it arcs on anything, like so. It actually has this little boot that goes over top of it. Whenever you bolt it to the pump, I'm going to slide that back inside there. Kind of keep the tape over it and this little boot here, and I'll pull it out like that, set it off the side so I don't have to worry about it arcing out on anything. And then obviously the ground, you don't really have to worry. This off here. I don't know if you can see this, but you probably noticed that my ground wire is red. That's mainly because I ran out of black wire, and obviously you can look at it and see how short it is and see that it goes to ground. So it shouldn't be a big deal for the next guy that's underneath this thing wondering what that goes to. Yeah, everybody was happy I got that off. I've got some videos going on in the background because I got the TV going. Kind of helps motivate me when I work on stuff. Now we need these fuel lines off. I'm assuming where this thing sits, since it's kind of above the bottom of the fuel tank, it actually shouldn't have any fuel wanting to siphon out of it from here. Normally I would, clamp this hose off so it wouldn't want to pull the fuel out of it. Gravity being in our favor, it'll leak a little bit, whatever's in the line, but it shouldn't continue to leak after the fact. Yeah, it should just drip what's in the pump out, and then it should be the end of it. Yep, just like that. Try and get this fuel line off here. Well, I've got some AN line, you know, like some Russell's line on this thing, more or less. Just kind of shoved over these barbs. It's not ideal, but it actually works pretty well on this. With these barbs it's got. There we go. That fitting there actually came loose just now, so we're going to have to fix that. But now I can unbolt this. Here. And then we'll move that pump down a little ways. I might actually put some kind of heat wrap on it because where I'm going to move it, it's going to be fairly close to the exhaust. So I might put some type of heat shield stuff around it, more or less, just to keep the heat off the pump. Anytime you use an inline pump, since they're not submerged in the fuel, they have a tendency to get hot. So, you know, if you take this and mount this down here, which is kind of my plan, you know, you got this exhaust really close to it, and it'll tend to heat up the pump and cause problems. So you try and steer away from that if you can. So let's see if we can get this moved around here, and we'll get back to it. All right, so I got the pump off, and I'm trying to use this bracket for the pump, but it's just really bulky and stuff, and I'm really limited on space. So I've actually got this little Chinese filter here that came with its little bracket, and I'm actually going to try and use this since it's a little smaller as far as like how much space it actually takes up. It's going to be a little tight fit, but I mean, you can tell it's a little less bulky. Might fit a little bit better up in there. So we're going to try and put this up in there, and hopefully that'll give us the room we need for this big old bulky pump in such a small spot. So let's see if we can make it fit. Dropped it roughly about a foot down further on the frame rail, and that still gave me a little bit of room to route the fuel line the way I wanted it to, and kind of away from the exhaust. But got it in there. Pump actually sounds a little quieter since it's so much lower, but we'll get it down off the lift. So I think what I'm gonna end up having to do is I think I'm gonna have to try a new pump for this car. By putting this pump in a different spot, it actually got quieter. I had issues with the pump getting loud the more I drove it. When I actually first got this thing up and running and I had it sitting out in the driveway, the pump had actually locked up more or less and stopped pumping fuel, and I actually had to tap on the pump to get it to start pumping again, and that's usually always kind of a bad sign anyways, which sucks because it was a brand new pump. But more than likely how I mounted it had probably caused some issues, and now it's just not going to get any better unless I go ahead and change the pump to the Walbro 255, and I'm pretty certain that'll fix it. So anyways, guys, that would be the end of the video for this car. Maybe if I get the pump here pretty quick, maybe I'll do another short video of putting the new pump on it, wiring it up, showing you the difference in how loud this one is versus the new one, and maybe actually show you how much better it'll run with this and that it actually fixed the problem. So anyways, keep following along. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Aquaria Racing, and we will see you guys later.